On Tuesday, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear spoke at a groundbreaking ceremony at an electric vehicle battery plant in Bowling Green. Beshear, who is running for re-election next year, praised the investment in his state and touted the job creation therein. Spurring electric power development within the United States has been a key economic imperative for Democrats. As Democrats face an improving landscape in the midterms, focusing on economic investment and domestic manufacturing is a major positive. Republicans, however, have painted Democratic claims about economic growth erroneous, stating that the economy is in a recession and high government spending is causing record high inflation.
Call everyone into the tent, and those who have seats, call you to your seats. All right. We need a carnival barker, I think, Ron. Good. All right, Ron Bunch has informed me that everybody needs to take their seats immediately. All right. Welcome, one and all. What a day. What a day to be in Bowling Green and Warren County. What a day to be in Kentucky. Thank you all for being with us. Thank you for to our esteemed guests for traveling some quite a distance to be here, and most of all to the team of Envision AESC for your exciting commitment to this community. This is a monumental day, and first I want to start out by just giving it up for the team at Envision. Let's hear it for them. Truly historic day. One of the best, one of the biggest, I'll say best, one of the biggest projects in the history of certainly our region, the biggest in our county, economic development, from an economic development attraction standpoint, one of the biggest projects in the history of our entire Commonwealth. So truly something to celebrate here today as testimony bears with the crowd that's here. So we're here to celebrate Envision and to celebrate all that went into making today possible. And so today we'll break ground on behalf of Envision AESC, who is a Japanese-owned company, a global leader in the electric vehicle battery technology space. And this plant and this project is only going to excel them into the future, into leadership space beyond where they even are today, because they'll be able to tap into this community. They'll make this place their home, our Kentucky their home, and they'll be able to tap into some of the best workers in the world. So thank you again for your decision to be here. It takes a lot to make a project like this possible. And many of you seated here before me and behind me were intimately involved in making today today possible. So just to get us to the point of recognizing some who were involved, and I apologize in advance for any that I miss. But first, those who were really working this project from the beginning. So the Kentucky Cabinet for Economic Development, represented here, led by Governor Beshear. Thank you guys for all the work that you've done. When I stand up for events like this, I tend to say that this is not hyperbole, that is not, I don't think, bragging too much, because it's true. We have the best economic development team in the country, and they work hard every day, and it's their efforts, their hard work, that allows the rest of us to get to come and enjoy such a monumental event. So let's give it up for them as well. Again, others involved sort of intimately in making this possible. We had the TVA and Warren Rural Electric very much involved through all stages of the project, as well as city leaders, county leaders, and other state leaders. We have various other cabinet representatives here today. Thank you for being here. Now, as you see on the dais here, we have quite a few speakers and quite a few esteemed elected officials. Let me spend some time recognizing all who are with us today in that capacity. First, from the federal delegation, we have, let's see, we have Congressman Brett Guthrie. Where's Brett? Congressman Brett Guthrie. I believe we have Mark Lord as well from your office, perhaps, but we have Gil. Is Gilbert here? Gilbert Michelle from Senator McConnell's office. Thank you for being here, Gil. From state leadership, we have Senate President Pro Tem David Gibbons. Thank you, Senator, for being here. Speaker of the House David Osborne. State elected officials, we have Steve Sheldon, State Representative. Patty Mintner, State Representative. Sorry, Senator Wilson, Mike, sorry to miss you, Senator Wilson. State Representative Sean McPherson. And State Representative Michael Meredith. Welcome, Michael. County and city officials, and I'll just ask that you hold your applause until we get through this list. Sorry. I'm sure that was appreciated, though, right? Yeah. We have, of course, County Judge Executive Mike Buchanan, who you'll hear from momentarily. Judge, we have Magistrate Doug Gorman, Magistrate Rex McWhorter, and Magistrate Ron Cummings. Let's now recognize them. City officials, we have the one and only Mayor Todd Alcott. Yeah, and the mayor deserves that applause. Thank you. City Manager Jeff Meisel. We have two city commissioners who I see, Melinda Hill and Sue Perrigan. Thank you all for being here. We have numerous community leaders, and this is where I'll miss a few, but those that I do have record of. Fire Chief Justin Brooks. Justin, are you here in the audience with us? In the back, yeah, thank you for being here. Others, we have Dr. Phil Neal, who's been a great asset to this region's economic development. He's the president of Sky CTC. Phil. Yeah. And then it's special and meaningful that both of our local school superintendents are here. So Superintendent Rob Clayton and Superintendent Gary Fields, thank you both for being here. That's the end of that list. So now on to the ceremonies before us. Our first speaker to come to the podium is the governor of our Commonwealth, and it's a pleasure always to have him in town, Governor Andy Beshear.
Thank you all. Thank you. Good morning, and I want to thank everybody for being here on an amazing morning for Bowling Green, an amazing morning for Warren County, and an amazing morning for the Commonwealth of Kentucky. This is a historic day that we are going to remember for generations to come, that's going to reverberate in so many communities across this state and benefit so many of our families. Back in April, we welcomed the leaders of Envision AESC into the Capitol in Frankfurt, where we announced the second largest economic development investment in our Commonwealth's entire history. Envision is an industry-leading EV battery company based in Japan, and it is investing an amazing $2 billion right here in Bowling Green and Warren County. On this site, there is going to be a new state-of-the-art EV battery gigafactory. More exciting, it's going to have more than 2,000 permanent jobs for residents of this area. And in just a few moments, or maybe after a half dozen speakers, we're going to grab some shovels and we're going to officially break ground on the construction phase, which brings in thousands of additional jobs. You know, every phase of these is exciting. You have your announcement, which is about the potential. You have your groundbreaking where you start realizing it, and I look forward to being back here for a ribbon cutting, which means operations have started. People are working, and boy, all those other suppliers out there are going to want to be as close to this facility as possible. And it's an exciting day because Envision AESC leaders chose us. You know, when we made this announcement, when we were so proud to have Envision CEO Shoichi Matsumoto and Managing Director for the United States, Jeff Deaton, come and announce this project, they picked us, folks. They picked Kentucky. They picked Kentucky for one of the largest investments they have ever made, and they picked Kentucky to be the central location where they are going to be creating more electric batteries than anywhere else in the United States. Envision's project is tapping into our proud history while also pushing us forward. Our energy production and automotive expertise have been second to none over the decades. The Commonwealth has emerged as a top auto producer, and right now, we are the #1 producer of cars, light trucks, and SUVs per capita, with more than 525 automotive-related facilities employing over 100,000 of our fellow Kentuckians. Envision is helping to bring our energy and the auto sectors into a new era, and we are determined to be leaders. When a company shows this level of commitment to us, we show up every day and we give them the commitment that we will not let them down. And I know Bowling Green and Warren County are going to make this one of the most productive facilities in the entire United States or across the world. I have been proud to represent Kentucky and our values as the co-chair of the National Governors Association Economic Recovery and Revitalization Task Force. And let me tell you, there hadn't been a bigger topic than the EV market, the jobs that it's creating, how quickly it has come to the United States, and how we're going to build out this incredible sector. And let me tell you, every other governor across that table has been really jealous about what's been happening right here in Kentucky. It was this announcement, along with one that came about 8 months before, that cemented us, Kentucky, as the electric vehicle battery production capital of the United States of America. You ought to be real proud of that. And I want to thank our federal partners in the federal government who are helping also to deploy tens of millions of dollars in grant funding that allow us to develop and build out EV charging infrastructure and long-distance EV corridors throughout the state. Because our commitment to Envision is if we're going to make batteries together, we're going to make sure we can charge your batteries all throughout this Commonwealth. In just 1 month after this big Envision announcement, I was happy to announce a $1 million investment in our product development initiative to extend the crucially needed utilities right here at the Kentucky Trans Park for this project and others. How proud are y'all of this Trans Park and everything that's coming in? Now, before we get to the groundbreaking, I have one more quick announcement that is going to benefit Envision's project, the entire community, and this area around the Trans Park. See, Bowling Green is growing. Y'all know it. Bowling Green is really growing. And a project like this is only adding to that amazing growth. A major need and concern as everything expands is ensuring the safety of all the new Kentuckians we're bringing in and our families that are living here. To that end, today, I am happy to announce $1 million in community development block grant funding to the City of Bowling Green to help fund the construction of a new fire station to support this new and growing area. Congressman, these are CDBG funds. Would you join me up here to help present this? Listen, our firefighters are heroes. They were out in the midst of that tornado, saving lives and protecting us. They are there every day to protect our people and our property. Let's give them a big round of applause for what they do. So Mayor, Congressman, and I tell you what, we'd love to have all our firefighters to come up here and, if you will, accept $1 million. Here they come. Yes. Justin, have you ever held $1 million?
I haven't.
There you go.
Thanks, sir.
Don't drop it.
All right.
Come on in, guys. Let's get the other half over here if we can, yeah. All right. Ready? All right. Congratulations. I remember speaking back in April about what Envision's investment was going to mean in a wider sense. And already then, Jeff Knoll, our new Economic Development Cabinet Secretary, and his entire top leadership are here today. We were hearing from suppliers that are out there that because of what Envision and because of what Ford and SK were doing, wanted to be as close to us as possible, and just look at what's happened since. We have made at least 5 announcements. They're going to employ hundreds, if not thousands, of Kentuckians supplying this and other facilities. It was Firestone Industrial Products in Whitley County adding 250 jobs because they knew we were going to be the United States capital for the production of electric vehicle batteries. It was Hitachi Automotive adding 200 jobs in Berea. And it was Ascend Elementals just a couple weeks ago that announced an enormous investment in Hopkinsville. And so to this company, I want you to know what that means to me. Hopkinsville is 20 miles from a town called Dawson Springs. Like Bowling Green, hit hard by those tornadoes. 70% of the housing, gone. And while I knew we could rebuild, we needed hope. We needed hope that there would be a better life and a better future for people to live in Dawson. And because of this announcement, we were able to bring in that great company in my dad's hometown, where my granddad was a Baptist preacher for about 50 years, where my family is from. It's not only going to continue, it's going to thrive. And today, we're standing tall. We're coming off our best year for economic development. Thanks to Envision, we're in the midst of the second best year this Commonwealth has ever had for economic development. Over $8.5 billion already announced. It's not the end of August. 8,000 new jobs created related to the EV sector. This is when we sometimes would say our economy is on fire, but we have firefighters here. I'm not going to do that. But certainly, they're making sure it's electric. Where we are going is so exciting. We are on the forefront, and we're the leaders, and it would not have happened without this company believing in us. And I got to thank our General Assembly. Just like the special session we're coming off, where the executive branch and the legislative branch work seamlessly to unlock $212 million for our brothers and sisters in Eastern Kentucky that need that help. They stepped up to this opportunity, knowing what it could mean. Let's give them a big round of applause for the investment they made. And I want to thank the Tennessee Valley Authority and the TVA President and CEO, Jeff Lyash, for their assistance in getting this done. They were a critical partner that we were talking to each and every day, and we could not have done this without them. Envision's leaders hope to power about 300,000 EVs annually with high-tech battery technology. Their battery cells will have a 30% greater energy density to allow for quick charging times, greater efficiency, and increased mileage. The EV batteries will be in vehicles all around the world, and we're pretty proud they're going to be made right here in Kentucky. It is fitting this company has vision right there in its name, because Envision's visionary leadership is helping us create a critical mass of EV production facilities that is going to create so many jobs in communities that have been waiting for them. So this is a great day for the Commonwealth, and you know, we deserve it. The president's been challenging. Worst tornado disaster we've ever seen. Worst flooding we've ever seen. One in every 100-year pandemic. Multiple ice storms. Inflation, while it's temporary, it's tough, and we're even living through a war in Europe. Our present is challenging, but our future, when we're standing on the site of a $2 billion facility, 2,000 jobs that's already attracting so more, is really bright. Again, Matsumoto and its U.S. When you we bring Jeff. Kentucky product. And so once again, if Patty Mentor, Sean McPherson, there is a about
Governor, thank you so for being misses I had. Thank you. Appreciate I noted the school University. as the governor mentioned, there was a lot of leadership that happened in the legislature to bring this project to bear. And it's just, I kind of marvel at, in the midst of a just regular business, short runway of sessions, legislative sessions as we have here in Kentucky, that a project like this can be put forward and embraced by that body, and then leadership provided to make it possible. So I'm pleased to have these representatives here today to speak to this, starting with Senate President Pro Tem David Gibbons.
Brian, thank you. And it truly is a day of celebration. Governor, your leadership, your cabinet's leadership, thank you for that. Truly celebration. Jeff and Envision and the work that went on to make this happen and to choose us, thank you for that. As the governor indicated, it's a day of celebration, but I want to start with some reflection because there's some wonderful stories in how this day came about. And the stories always fascinate me because this doesn't always happen. Understand that opportunities arise, resources sometimes will align, and the timing won't be right, and it doesn't happen. Or the opportunity never arises. The resources are there, and the timing is right, but the opportunity is not. So I want to reflect for just a moment as I was talking with some of the chamber members about the early stages of this conversation. They shared with me that they went to Smyrna, Tennessee, and looked at the facility there at Smyrna. That's an Envision facility, a fourth-generation battery plant, as I understand it. What's being built here is a fifth and sixth generation battery plant, of which the technology and machinery is not even known yet. That's how cutting edge this is, which means great things for the future of the Commonwealth. So that early commitment by the chamber to invest themselves in a relationship with Envision and to study the opportunity and get to know about what opportunities were there was significant in helping create us being here today. In addition, I'm going to take a little bit of credit with my colleagues, Senator Max Wise, Senator Wilson, leader, speaker, thank you for that, Michael, others, Representative Mentor. In getting to this place, we had to create an environment in Kentucky that was open to business. And that meant doing some challenging things in the face of some opposition. I'm speaking specifically about right to work and prevailing wage and those opportunities that say loudly and clearly, Kentucky's the place to come to. Along with that, the leadership of the House and Senate and so many others has moved us toward a taxing model that moves from taxing production. Taxing production, that sounds like an odd thing to ever do, but that's been our model for years. We're creating an environment with the help of so many others and enacting sound policy that makes Kentucky the place to do business. Now, the story I enjoy the most, the reflection that just fascinates me, was how this all came together in April. The governor mentioned some of it. We were just off of the ink barely drying on the Ford announcement. And we had a really talented site selection team that showed up and sat down with us in a Senate conference room. And along with them, we had the chamber team, we had the judge executive, and we had the mayor. And they shared with us this Envision. I started to say vision. They shared with us, without saying Envision in that first meeting, because you couldn't really tell us who it was. But they said, we've got something big. It's real, they're real, and it will have a significant economic positive impact across the Commonwealth. Met with us. Speaker, I think they met with you and some of your team. And then separately, they met with the governor, Governor Beshear, and your folks. And it came back around, they said, okay, we've touched all the bases. What do we need to do now? And I said, listen, in my opinion, in Frankfurt, you got to get us all in the same room together. It really just works best if we're all in the same room together. And we came back and got everybody in the same room together after some work and some groundwork. And the Envision folks showed up, and we unveiled the opportunity. Now, you've got to understand, we all start at a bit of I'm going to call it cynicism, but I want it to be perceived to be a positive cynicism. This was not a cynicism at all. Once we heard about this project, it was gangbusters. What do we need to do? How quickly do we need to do it? Who do we need to talk with? But those stars don't always align, and so kudos to everyone involved. Kudos to the General Assembly, to the governor, mainly to Envision. But if I had to rank someone second on the list, I would say the chamber and the local community are right there, because a lot of these end up, as the Ford opportunity did, and rightly so, starting at the state level and working down to the local level. We're here today because the local level said, we're going to do this, we can do this, here's our pitch, believe in us. We believed in them and they delivered. So congratulations to Bowling Green and Warren County.
Last month in the Commonwealth, we celebrated a tradition unique to us called Fancy Farm. And Speaker of the House David Osborne was the MC for that event. And if he reprised that role today, this event would get a little more interesting right now. He brought a lot of energy to that day. And but with that said, again, led part of this effort in his role as House Speaker for the legislature, and we're pleased to have him in Bowling Green, Warren County today. Mr. Speaker.
I didn't realize I was supposed to bring walk-up music. Would have jazzed things up a little bit. But, well, good morning and thank you. It is a great pleasure to be here, to be part of this groundbreaking and see this incredible partnership between Envision AESC and the Commonwealth take its next step forward. This mega project comes with an incredible investment that strengthens Kentucky's place in the emerging electric vehicle market. $2 billion investment in a state-of-the-art gigafactory that will employ 2,000 people and power the next generation of vehicles. Kentucky is truly on the edge of cornering the EV market. We all know that a project of this magnitude does not take place overnight. And let me begin by thanking Envision AESC and their team for their investment. They could have gone anywhere, but they saw the opportunity here. I want to congratulate all those involved for their tireless efforts in making today possible. Local leaders like the Bowling Green Area Chamber of Commerce, Mayor Alcott, the Bowling Green City Commission, Judge Buchanan, and the Warren County Fiscal Court, the Economic Development Cabinet, the Governor's Office, and members of the House and the Senate. While we may not always agree on everything, leaders of this state pull together in the same direction when it comes to delivering economic opportunities for the Commonwealth. The willingness to work together to bring jobs and economic opportunity across the Commonwealth spans across party lines, it spans across county lines, and it spans across the lines of private and public partnerships. We also know that announcements like today are years in the making of making Kentucky a better place to do business and more business friendly. This has been our mission since the voters gave us the majority in 2016. It's the reason behind laws and policies that we have passed into law, including tax reform and eliminating burdensome and stifling regulations. It's also the primary reason that we look into continuing making investments in training and educating the workforce. These policies have led to record low unemployment, historic economic investment, and shattered state revenues. And now as we emerge from the pandemic, those same policies are still delivering strong results and largely responsible for Kentucky's positive economic output. As I close, I again want to recognize the incredible investment of Envision AESC. Brian, Jeff, thank you for choosing Kentucky. Please know that Kentucky's doors are open for business, and we look forward to working with you in the future.
Mike Wilson is up next as one of our local state senators, but also represents, has provided leadership in the education space for the state legislature for many years, and I think is appropriate to be able to come and sort of tie those things together with his remarks or presence here today. So, Senator Wilson.
Governor Beshear, esteemed leaders, Brian, Jeff of Envision AESC, and the guest of Envision AESC, Mayor Alcott, our city officials that are here, Judge Buchanan, our county officials, Speaker Osmond, and our General Assembly brothers, members, friends, welcome to my hometown and our community. You know, I'm reminded of something as this milestone is here today. And I'm reminded of a movie called Field of Dreams. Some of you may remember it. Kevin Costner starred in that movie. Kept hearing a voice that if you build it, they will come. Of course, it was about a baseball field and a cornfield built. And these players would come, these old bygone players would come and they could watch them play baseball. Well, I want to go back to a much younger judge executive, Mike Buchanan. I do say much younger. He had a vision for a trans park. Deep in his gut, he believed that if we build it, they will come. And he's such a collaborator that he brought all the key players together in that, and it was incorporated in 1998, right out here where you're at today. But there were a lot of hard-fought battles, court cases. Mike, you remember those very well. And then in 2004, we finally got our first company. And it has proven true that if we build it, they have come. And they've come, and they've come. When I was first contacted about this project, and I think it was Richie Sanders that called me, he calls me quite frequently, and I get this phone call, and I pick it up, and I look, and I see it's Richie Sanders, and he goes, "Hey, Sander, how you doing?" "All right, Richie, what do you want now?" And sure enough, he said, "Hey, I got to tell you about an opportunity." And as I listened to him about being the largest investment to date in a mega project similar to Ford, I worked to gather our leadership so we could have a meeting with the site selection team representing that the company was looking at Kentucky, along with, I know it was Doug Gorman, you were in that meeting, Judge Buchanan, Mayor, and also Ron Bunch, our chamber. And that words cannot express what a great job our chamber does in reaching out and recruiting companies. They do. So that began the process for us, and as my colleague, Senator Givens, has already shared, simultaneous meetings that were set up with the House leadership and then with Economic Development Cabinet, Governor's Office, as we all work together to make this a reality for us in putting together the infrastructure funding and also the funding that was needed to make sure that this company would choose Warren County and Bowling Green. The groundwork's laid a long time ago in many of the policies you've already heard about, but also it was the General Assembly that worked to set up through legislation economic development incentives offered through the Economic Development Cabinet to companies to attract them to Kentucky, as well as our local officials had worked to set up local economic incentives that would help in attracting those companies. So it's a lot of hard work by a lot of people. And Kentucky, as you know, is a hub for the automotive industry, with GM's Corvette plant just right down the road, the only place it's manufactured in Bowling Green, Kentucky. We also have 3 other assembly plants, Toyota in Georgetown and 2 Ford plants in Louisville. We're very proud of those. The announcement today will put Kentucky and Bowling Green, Warren County in the center of the next generation for the automotive industry. I'm very proud of that. So I want to say to Mike Buchanan first, for this field of dreams, we are very thankful. And yes, they have come. And this is indeed a crowning jewel on a career of 28 years. So today, built on that continued work of our city, county, commonwealth, and Chamber of Commerce, we're excited to welcome Envision AESC to our community, our state, in this transpark. Thank you.
All right. It's a little warm under this tent, am I right? We've rounded second Representative Meredith is going to get us headed towards third. And Richie, I would never be so bold as try to impersonate you up here. So you're safe from here on out. Although that was pretty good. Yeah, we're truly blessed to have such strong leadership in our community, as witnessed as here on this stage. Michael Meredith, Representative Michael Meredith, is another of our local representatives and has been part of that leadership for many years. And so I'm pleased and proud to welcome him to the podium.
You know, I've spent my life within 20 years of the site where we stand today. I was born about 3 miles up the road. My home today is about 3 miles down the road. And the balance of my life has been within 20 minutes of this place. And every day that you wake up in South Central Kentucky is a good day. But today is a great day. And today is proof that when we all come together and work cooperatively, the business community, the local chambers of commerce, local government, and state government, we can have great success throughout our Commonwealth. I remember the first call I got about this project. I think it was late January or early February. It was a Friday afternoon. I was driving home from Frankfort, and I stopped off in Smiths Grove to get something to drink right before I came to the house. Judge Buchanan called about that time, and he said, "Michael, I've got a big project. It's really, really big. I can't tell you who it is. I can't tell you what it is, but it's really, really big. And beyond that, I need about $47 million to make it work." I took a deep breath. I said, "Judge, I will do everything in my power." The next call that I made was to the Speaker of the House. And I said, "Speaker, I've got something really big. I can't tell you what it is. I can't tell you who it is, but I need about $47 million in the budget to make it happen." And the Speaker said, "Well, Michael, we'll find a way. We'll find a way." South Central Kentucky has become a destination for manufacturing, for tourism, and for people coming here to find a better way of life for themselves and for their family. And this caps that, puts a capstone on all the work that we've done for decades here. Mike mentioned it, Field of Dreams. You know, this has been fertile farmland for hundreds of years in this part of our community. But for the last 2 decades, it's been fertile ground to grow companies, to grow jobs, and to grow our economy here. And we want to thank you, Envision, for choosing this area, for choosing our hometown, for choosing our citizens to provide these opportunities to. We cannot thank you enough, and we'll never be able to tell you how grateful that we are for this investment. Thank you very much. And it's not just an investment of dollars, it's an investment in our people in this community, and it's an investment in the future of this community as a whole. We thank your shareholders and we thank your management for that investment. We want to thank the Governor and his Cabinet for Economic Development for their hard work, and I do want to thank all of my colleagues that are here today in the House and the Senate, and those who aren't here from all over the Commonwealth for their help on this. It wouldn't be happening without their assistance. $47 million for infrastructure and another $7 or $8 million for transportation infrastructure on the perimeter of the park and inside the park that made this all a reality. So thank you for your help on that. And I want to thank all of our leaders for their continued fiscal management of this budget that allows for projects like this. Because if we don't manage our budget in a prudent manner, we don't have the dollars to be able to invest in opportunities like this or in the recovery efforts that we've had through the tornado and the floods this year. And so because of that sound management, we have the ability to do these projects that are generational investments and to relieve our communities when they need help. And so I want to thank all of them for their efforts and thank all of you all for being here. Again, thank you, Envision, for choosing Warren County.
As has already been mentioned, it was a little over 20 years ago when folks gathered, much like we are today, under a hot tent that day too, to break ground for this Transpark. And it's been a pleasure of mine to be a part of the Transpark board, the Intermodal Transpark Authority Board, which is sort of provides the governing oversight for this Transpark. That aside, we get to marvel at the progress on a regular basis. And this is a destination, as Michael just said, that is attracting companies clearly from around the world. And there's not a single other, many of you in the tent, under the tent, were here that day for that groundbreaking, some in different roles. And maybe a state senator, Guthrie at the time, I can't recall exactly, but and Richie in the state senate at the time, others of you were there. Senator McConnell was obviously key part of that, getting that project kicked off. But none other, as has been said, intimated already, none other individual besides our county judge executive, Mike Buchanan, was more responsible for just having, honestly, the tenacity and the just stick-to-itiveness to get the job done and to withstand the critics and the criticisms and the lawsuits, as Mike said, day after day, week after week, literally year after year, to then get this project on a smooth flying course. So we're pleased to celebrate our county judge executive. We're proud of Mike Buchanan, and we celebrate his retirement and welcome him into the next stage, and are so glad that it's this kind of project that becomes a capstone to his county judge executive tenure. So Judge Executive, welcome.
Thank you all so much. And let me just say, first of all, they've made a lot of talk about how difficult this was and the lawsuits. And, I guess I was just oblivious to it because it seemed pretty simple to me. I enjoyed it, and I've never run away too far, too fast from criticism. I just accept it and move on. But this is the right thing to do. It has been the right thing to do, and I'm very proud of everything that's happened. But certainly, this today is the top project that we've ever had in Warren County. Governor, Senator Givens, Speaker Osborne, Senator Wilson. I have to say I like Senator Wilson and Representative Meredith's remarks better than most everyone else's. but I want to thank you all, and I want to thank all of our friends from Envision. Will everyone from Envision please stand up real quick? I want to thank you all. Brian Sullivan and Jeff Deaton were here with Mike Mullis. And Mike came in, and I could tell by the way he said no the first 16 times that a yes was coming on pretty quick. Being an old door-to-door salesman many, many years ago, they taught us that you strike out on the first 18. And on the 19th call, door-to-door, you're going to make a sale. Well, we picked a good one to make a sale on this time, and I appreciate Mike Mullis's longtime friendship to Bowling Green, Warren County, and to our region. And I want to say thank you, Mike. Appreciate you all. I've had the honor of speaking at a number of groundbreakings over the last 29 years, and this area has flourished, particularly over the last couple of decades. But Envision's announcement truly does stand alone as the largest investment and most jobs created by a new company in the Kentucky Transpark since its founding. This is a huge accomplishment for our region. I'm thrilled to be standing here celebrating this groundbreaking just a few months before everyone keeps saying I'm retiring. I'm not retiring. I'm just leaving this job and going to another one in a few months. But I'm thankful for being involved in this community, and I intend to continue to be involved in this community for many, many years to come. This groundbreaking is amazing. This is an amazing company with amazing product that is going to really change this entire region while it is changing the world. It's something that I'm very proud of, and it's the type of mark you want to leave on with your service on the people you serve. The economic impact for this project will generate over $20 billion over the next decade into this economy. And at full employment, it'll generate over $233 million in new spending in this community every year. By bringing this business here, and they chose here. I know Jeff is probably going to tell you they chose here because of me. That's not true. They may have chosen here because of the teamwork that we have here and the great work that was done by our legislators, our governor's office, our economic development authority of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, by our Chamber of Commerce, certainly by TVA, a big, big player in this. And I want to thank Dwayne McDonald and my friends from RECC who are major contributors and will continue to be major contributors. And I want to tell you how much I appreciate your board showing their approval of what we're doing and their commitment to this community, as always. Thank you. We intend to see not only the first production of batteries here in Warren County, but we intend to see our community transformed over the next few years because of Envision. And I want to say on behalf of all of the people of Warren County and indeed South Central Kentucky, thank you, Mr. Deaton, Mr. Sullivan. We appreciate you all, and we appreciate all of you all being with us today. God bless you all. Thank you.
Folks in the back standing in the sun, there's some shaded parts under the tent up here. Make your way over here if you want to. There's room. And then, Mac, I see you sweating back there. Come on up if you want to. There's seats down here. There's a couple seats. President Caboni, come on if you'd like. Yep. So it's been mentioned multiple times that collaboration is key to this community, this region's success, and just it's. We see that time and time again, and especially with this project. And we have especially great collaboration between our city leaders and our county leaders, along with everyone else represented, the parties represented on the stage today. We have strong leadership in our city offices, led by the exact right person for the job, who I want to bring to the podium now, Mayor Todd Alcott.
Good afternoon, Bowling Green, South Central Kentucky, and Warren County. It is an honor to stand here to represent our community, our Board of Commissioners, Jeff Meisel, our city team. This is an incredible day. Governor, you brought $1 million. Thank you so much. That's incredible. We can use that. That is directly going to our Trans Park opportunity, and site location has already been announced for where we're going to put our next fire department. We're very excited about that $1 million and what it can do for our citizens. You know, I'm going to echo just real quickly, real briefly, because I know there's a half a dozen of us as governor. I am the last elected official up here to pontificate, so thank you for that. But there is indeed an important day for Bowling Green. This is the second largest development that's ever happened in the state of Kentucky. To imagine that. From what I understand, 3 million square feet is kind of hard to envision, but imagine, I think it's, how many Walmarts, super Walmarts out there? I think it's 18 super Walmarts that we're imagining in that field right behind you. So it is, Senator Wilson, a field of dreams. You know, there is particularly one entity here that we have to recognize the most, and you've heard that, and he needs to be singled out, and that is Ron Bunch in our chamber. Ron, stand up. Stand out. He's right there. He's hiding, as he always does. The chamber continues to bring and knock it out of the park, and we are so proud of our chamber. We're proud of our chamber ambassadors, the chamber team, and what they do, because they collaborate these governments. They collaborate our legislators. They collaborate all of our local elected leaders, and we are a seamless team that works towards getting it done. You know, and I'll just finish. You know, people may be worrying about the future, because that's what people do. They're naturally, we worry about that. But I can tell you, we will fill the jobs. We will find housing for our community. And we'll be able to work through the growing pains, because they will find our community is like no other. Our leaders are a united front to making Bowling Green a strong hometown with organic solutions, and we never fret over who gets the credit. So I am proud of this community. I'm proud to be able to stand on the shoulders of those that have brought this vision, and especially have the opportunity to work along with Judge Buchanan. So thank you, Judge. Congratulations, Mr. Deaton, Mr. Sullivan, to Envision AESC. Thank you for choosing us as your home. This is an epic day for Bowling Green. BG Strong. Thank you, everybody.
I want to draft off something the mayor said in recognizing Ron in the chamber, and would like to invite everyone from the chamber to stand up, raise a hand if you're probably standing in the back, and especially on this for this project, Meredith Rosansky and Christian Howard, who always worked especially hard on this thing. Yeah. Brian, Jeff. In Kentucky, we make you work hard for the podium. We're so glad you're here. We're so glad you've chosen our Kentucky home as your home. I want to introduce Brian Sullivan, who serves as, I want to get the title right, Executive Vice President, Global Manufacturing and Supply Chain for Envision AESC. Welcome.
Thank you, Brian. Good morning. And thank you for attending our event today to celebrate the groundbreaking of one of the largest lithium-ion battery plants in North America, located right here in Bowling Green, Warren County, Kentucky. Thank you. And again, my name is Brian Sullivan. I'm the Executive Vice President of Global Manufacturing for Envision AESC. We're a leading global technology manufacturer of EV batteries and also stationary batteries, headquartered right outside of Yokohama, Japan, in Kanagawa. Over the last 12 years, we have produced high-performance, extended-range batteries for more than 650,000 EVs, shipped to 44 countries, and with a 100% safety record, which is unprecedented in the industry. It's my great pleasure to be here with you all today in the Commonwealth of Kentucky as we celebrate this major milestone for the expansion of our U.S. business. And you've heard it many times today, but today's milestone is a culmination of a lot of hard work by a lot of people with a true partnership attitude. And many of you are here today, and I want to personally thank you for what you guys have done for this community, for this state, and for Envision AESC. It is also my great pleasure to have Governor Beshear, along with the legislative leadership, the Chamber of Commerce, and many, many others that have made this day happen. You know, on behalf of, the Envision AESC, please accept my sincere gratitude for making this day happen. And we also look forward to continuing this relationship, and it's a true collaboration and support. And I've got to say that we've seen none like it. I mean, you guys need to be very proud for what you do, and that type of collaboration is one of the key reasons why we came here. So it's quite impressive. The U.S. market is one of our most important global markets. Presents an enormous opportunity for Envision AESC with a forecast potential to become the largest EV market globally by 2025. Most forecasters are putting the EV market by 2025 to be at 4 million vehicles. So it's going to be an unprecedented time of growth over the next several years. And that's just the start. The location of our Gigafactory in Bowling Green, Kentucky provides the best solution to a very demanding set of requirements that we were looking for. First is workforce availability, a strong talent pipeline, transportation links, and the infrastructure readiness that we have right here. It's also very strategically positioned to supply multiple automotive manufacturers across the entire country, producing up to 300,000 batteries for electric cars a year beginning in 2027. And this is part of our commitment and one of our key goals as a company to support the global transition to a zero emissions mobility economy. And just in the last year, really the last 6 months, to be frank, we've announced new gigafactories in France, in Spain, the UK, Japan, and right here, which will take our total capacity to 150 gigawatt hours by 2025, is part of our worldwide goal to achieve 300 gigawatt hours by that time. And as a global battery Tier 1 battery supplier, we continuously push the boundaries on performance, safety, and efficiency to create superior products for our customers using only sustainable business processes and practices. So I'd like to conclude by pledging that Envision AESC will continue to work with Team Kentucky, Bowling Green, and our customers to achieve this sustainable economic growth for the region, while also supporting the local communities that we work in towards our journey to be the ultimate destination for EVs with a more affordable and accessible product to really help take the EV movement to millions of U.S. families throughout the United States. So again, thank you, and on behalf of Envision AESC, we're super excited today and really look forward to the next phase of this project. So thank you very, very much.
Brian, thank you. Next, I want to welcome to the podium Jeff Deaton, Managing Director of Envision AESC. Thank you for being here.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's really hot under here, and I know you guys are really uncomfortable, so I'm going to try to keep my remarks to less than an hour. So today's a milestone for Envision AESC and a day of gratitude for those that have helped us get to this point. I'd like to thank Governor Beshear for his words and also recognize the leadership of Lieutenant Governor Coleman as leaders and ambassadors on behalf of the great state of Kentucky. Your dedication and hard work have brought us to this moment. I also want to acknowledge that this project would not be possible without the tireless work of the Kentucky legislature, including Senate President Pro Tem David Givens, Speaker of the House David Osborne, Representative Michael Meredith, and Senator Mike Wilson, who have all shared their thoughts today. Thank you. And finally, I thank the innovative local leaders here in Bowling Green, such as Mayor Todd Alcott and Honorable Mike Buchanan, who also spoke today. Thank you. It is my pleasure to be here today to mark what a momentous day for Envision ASC here in the U.S. But more importantly, I'm honored to mark what I believe is an important day for Kentucky, its economy, and above all, the people of Bowling Green, Warren County. Bowling Green has for many decades played a leading role in the automotive industry. Since the 1960s, when Bowling EV. So, the decision to center Envision ASC's investment here was an easy one, partly due to your history, but also in large part because of the readiness of the skilled workforce required to deliver a project of this scale and magnitude. Today, batteries are fast becoming a strategically important industry, powering the United States' move to electric vehicles, and importantly for Kentucky and Bowling Green, Warren County, powering the economy and jobs. Envision ASC's $2 billion investment in a brand new state-of-the-art gigafactory in the Kentucky Trans Park will provide 2,000 new, high-value, future-proof jobs for the people of Warren County. Our new 30 gigawatt-hour facility will produce our latest innovative next-generation battery cells, which have 30% more energy density than today. That means the cars they power will take less time to charge and can travel further before needing to be recharged. Now, if you're wondering about the size of this plant and how it's going to run, let me tell you. We'll be utilizing the 512-acre site behind you, and the whole plant will be powered by 100% renewable energy, powered by our partners from TVA and WRECC. The operational details are one thing, but what makes me most excited about this project is what this investment in this community means. Bowling Green already has the training resources in place from technical centers and Western Kentucky University to ensure people have the skills needed to fill the 2,000 jobs that are needed to power this new gigafactory. Every one of our future employees, from production and manufacturing to working in maintenance, management and support functions, will be part of putting Bowling Green at the forefront of one of the country's fastest growing industries, where automotive and technology come together. Market forecasts for the United States indicate tremendous growth in electric vehicle sales, and in Bowling Green, Warren County, we're going to play a critical role in making them. We're extremely grateful for the level of support that Governor Beshear and the local region have shown us to get to this important point, which highlights the strength of our enduring partnership and shared ambition to be national leaders in the e-mobility transformation in the United States. Working together, we will create an all-electric hub in Warren County that will support everything in the value chain for the batteries. I very much look forward to continuing working with all of you as we go together on this journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. It's other events somewhat similar. I've heard Leader McConnell in the past say, it seems that everything has been said, but I just haven't said it yet. So in that vein, let me briefly close this out and get us to the point of shoveling some dirt here. On a personal note, when I think I was a freshman in high school, when Governor Martha Lane Collins brought a delegation from Georgetown to my high school to announce something pretty exciting that was about to take place in Georgetown, Kentucky. That was, I believe, the highest, the biggest, largest economic development investment in our state. And so I'm reminded of that event, and in thinking of that, I invited my own kids here today, so you might wonder who brings their kids to a groundbreaking, but I wanted them to be a part of this. The point that Governor Collins was making at the time was, not only are you as high school freshmen and high school students generally going to have opportunities directly. This is going to impact not just Georgetown, not just Scott County, but also Frankfort and Franklin County and the entire region. Now, of course, we couldn't imagine what that looked like, particularly as high schoolers at the time, but I think even the adults in the room didn't quite completely appreciate the impact that was going to have on that region and on our state, and helping making us continue to make us an automotive leader. This is the same kind of event we're here to celebrate today. The impact, honestly, we can't completely grasp it as we stand here and celebrate the commitment that's being made by Envision. But what we do know, as seen by those participating, especially from our school systems and our colleges and universities, it is going to have an impact on this generation and generations to come, as the economic vitality of this region and our Commonwealth just continues to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And so with that, let me just add my final thanks to Envision, your leadership and your commitment and your decision to make this your home as well. And Mayor and Judge, if you guys wouldn't mind grabbing those gifts, we have just another token of appreciation from local leadership to provide to Brian and Jeff. With that concludes our formal ceremonies, except for the actual moving of dirt, which I'm going to invite folks on the dais to exit stage right and make your way to the big dirt mound in the back. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Speaker, I have you next to Senator Givens. Michael, I have you right here, sir.
This one.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Senator Wilson, I have you in between Representative Meredith and Speaker Osborne. Yep. Is that everybody? Mayor. Yep. Mayor. There's the mayor. Mayor, we have you all the way down here in between Brian and Judge. All right, so if you gentlemen will put on your hats, we're going to do a couple of photos. The first two will just be post photos, so you can put your hand on your shovel. And you'll look right here at Crystal. Crystal, wave your hand. You'll look right here at Crystal. So the first two photos will be posed. Just look here at Crystal and Small. I'll call them out. And then on the third one, you'll pick up some dirt in your shovel, and I'll do a 3, 2, 1, and you'll toss the dirt. All right. Hey, Brian, if you want to grab it. So everybody just look here. Look over here. Got it? All right. If you would, pick up your shovel with some dirt. All right, we'll do a countdown in 3, 2, 1, shovel.
All right.
There you go.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's Ron, right?
Are there more?
Hey, Lauren, let's do this without the hats.
We're doing without the hats? All right.
Hey, guys, we're going to go without the hats real quick. Yep.
Okay. One without?
One without the hats. We're going to do one more without the hats. Gentlemen. You just look over here.
I'm just happy to have my pair to mess it up.
All right, just right here.